Kia ora, Lara here, and we're celebrating Rebecca Lockhart's 1,500 subscribers. My name is Lara, as I said before, and Scrappykea is my handle on Instagram and YouTube and on Facebook. And I'm going to be taking a sketch that Rebecca shared on the 3rd of August 2021 on Instagram, and it was when she was sort of playing with the 1/3, 2/3 layouts, and she had quite a few or a couple of layouts that had a similar design just in different places and turned around, but I just picked on this one here, which sort of appealed to the simplicity and also that interest. I decided to shrink it down a little bit, so I am playing with the 2/3, 1/3 idea, but I'm going to do it so that there's a 1-inch border all the way around on some white daisy cardstock. So the papers that I'm using are the Sonia collection from Close to My Heart, and I'm just sort of working out, doing a bit of maths here and realizing that I need to take 2 inches off the bottom, because I took an inch off each of the side measurements to still stick with this 2/3, 1/3 idea or concept that Rebecca had in her layout that I am scrap lifting. So basically the idea of these hops is that we scrap lift the person who is celebrating a fabulous milestone with their YouTube subscribers, and 1,500 is a pretty awesome achievement, or 1,500 subscribers, so well done, Rebecca. Make sure you check out the links below. Other people are joining in on this hop, and you'll also be able to head to Rebecca's page and see why, her channel, and see why she has achieved this many subscribers. So I've sort of got these 2 sheets of paper, and now I'm going to wrinkle up the edges a little bit. Now, Rebecca hadn't done this in her layout at all, but the idea of the scrap lift is to take a concept or an idea and just sort of turn it into a layout that looks like one of mine. So I'm quite excited about this 2/3, 1/3 idea, and I think I will play around with this in a few more pages and perhaps cards and things like that in the near future as well. So this sort of whet my appetite for a few more. I decided that I really like this rainbow zip strip that's on this piece of patterned paper. So I am going to trim that off and just trim it down so it's the same size as the other pieces, and then I'm going to layer it down that join in the middle, not in the middle, over to that left hand side there. So I've sort of tucked that in and just wrinkling up the edges to match. Now in the sort of top left of Rebecca's layout, she had a little bit of some words and some embellishing, and I decided just to do the good old paper tearing with another colour tucked in behind technique. So I just sort of peel this back up a little bit, and I layer the minty colour down underneath, which is the other side of that blue sort of pattern paper that I've got on the right, and I just tear a little bit more off there so that it's got that wee feature, and I am going to put a sticker up there a little bit later. So the 2 photos that I have chosen to scrapbook are on ones that I took while we were having a game of Ticket to Ride. And so my brother-in-law, my nephew, and a friend of his came to stay, and it was just Jason and I here at home. And it's always a good night when friends come and they're happy to play board games and stuff, because that makes some nice entertainment, and I find it a lot more interesting than just sitting in front of a movie or TV or something like that. So the photo that's on the right there I have stuck down onto the paper, and the one here on the left I am sticking with foam tape, so it's got a little bit of lift because I knew it was going to go over that photo on the right. So just checking out the sketch again and making sure I'm sort of keeping true to the concept or the idea of it, and I'm going to pull out some stickers to put on the base of these photos. So the photos were printed on my Canon Selfie Square printer, so they are a little bit smaller than normal, and they have a really cool space at the bottom for a bit of journaling or some labeling or something, and I find this a great space for stickers like I put on there as it is. So I'm pulling off stickers from the Sonia collection sticker sheet, and it's really handy because they go beautifully with the papers, and just peeling off some of these and working out what could work. I wanted to play around with the ideas of arrows and directions and all the colours of the pieces in the game and stuff like that. The photo that's on the right, my cat Rua has a thing about the light when it's turned on our table, and so of course we had the light on because we were playing a board game, and he was sort of milling around and he was trying to sit on the board. He was actually being a real pest, and I suddenly realised, because it's been a while since we played a game, that he really likes sitting in the boxes. So we pulled the spare pieces out of the game box and laid it on the table and moved everyone else moved to the other end of the table and let him sit under the light. And sure enough, as soon as the box was there, he climbed into it and curled up. So it was just one of those things, the idiosyncrasies of our cat, that I should have known better and set that up from the start. Maybe next time I'll remember. So I found some wooden arrows that I'm going to tuck in there. Sort of the idea of this game is you have to build the longest route, or you have to have lots of trains, because that gives you points and stuff like that you purchase through having different resources. I found another collection, and I actually won this as part of a raffle ticket prize at a recent scrap camp, which was a lot of fun. And this is from I believe it's the Wander collection, and this was out probably a year to 2 years ago. I'm getting a bit confused with all these collections, but it was a pretty cool collection, and it fitted with the idea of movement and travel around, so it tied in with the game that we were playing. So now I'm just going to add that journaling about having some visitors and enjoying being able to play a board game with them. It seems a while since we've had friends who regularly would pop over and we would play games. And I kind of miss those evenings and those times. My husband was quite happy at the end of the evening because he won, of course. He often does. Sometimes he shares the opportunity of winning, but he's generally not quite so happy when that happens. So I am just adding in a few wee notes and things around the place, and quite happy with how that's all looking. So I'm going to glue down those arrows. I wondered about colouring them, but I decided I quite like that wood with the wood glow on the table inside both of those photos, and I just tuck that one in and around those 2 stickers that I've popped in there, and just tying that in. Now on Rebecca's layout, she had some black pen work that she had done around the larger piece of the patterned paper, and so I've got my white pen here that I'm just going to zoom around the edge with, and I'm going to go back over that, so I'll do that twice. She had sort of some nice pen frames, and they're sort of a doubled up around the edge there as well, so I decided that I would scrap lift that concept too. So hey, again, check those links below for the other people that are scrap lifting Rebecca. Check her page and stuff at her Instagram feed out, so here's some close-ups of the layout. Check the links below for the other people joining in the hop and Rebecca's YouTube channel as well. And if you've enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to have you subscribe too. Thanks to those who are subscribers, and thanks for watching my video. I hope you've got something out of this and feeling a bit inspired to create. Thanks.